We just reduced our quality. Hopefully this will look a little bit smoother without as much lag. The video quality might be down a little bit. We just went to 480i rather than 720. Here's Washington with a shot on net, blocked in front by Halverson. Michael Luke there to try to break up the puck. Here's Trevor McCarty. McCarty now tries to trip it up the boards, takes a little hit in the process. The Ducks do clear the zone thanks to a Patrick Scarlotta effort. Here's Michael Luke. Michael Luke, known for his big hits, not quite his delicacy. Tries to pass it to McBride, who chips it up almost over the boards into the Washington zone. Great pressure from the Ducks, from Pat Taylor. Finds Abate, who shoots on net, well deflected by the Washington goalie. Another shot, deflected in front. Oh, they had an open net opportunity there.
Yeah, had there been someone there was a wide open door for the Ducks there. But still some great opportunities so far early on for Oregon. That shot, particularly from Abate, I think if he'd slapped it, tried to kind of one-time it, he might have had the window. Instead, he took it a little slower, went for the accuracy instead, and as a result, the shot came in a little weaker.
All right. Oh, the opportunity from Washington. Of course, Danny Cockrell able to corral the effort. It did seem to slip behind them there, Isaac, and the puck was lost for a minute. He was able to flop over and cover it with his glove.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. It is a scary, scary moment as a goaltender when you have to throw that glove hand back there. Fortunately, this time for Cockrell, there was a nice rubber puck underneath it, and he was able to recover that puck. No goal for the Huskies, still scoreless. 9 minutes or so in, and we've now played more hockey than we have had penalties, although I'm sure that won't last very long. Big hit again in the corner, or along the near side boards rather.
All right, Ducks have possession of the puck. Tries to flip it towards center ice. Here comes Casey on the chase. Washington with a little bit of possession. Here's Gasser. Gasser chips it up. He finds 83 Minkoff. Minkoff gets laid out.
That was Brock Burgess there laying the big hit in the neutral zone.
Brock Burgess, a rookie on this team, still has yet to prove himself on the team, but so far he's been pretty impressive here tonight, and he's been pretty impressive so far this season, along with most of Oregon's rookies.
One of those super rookies, Nick Shabara, not playing tonight. That leads to Patrick Scarlotta. Oh, here's a chance for Washington, and another big save by Cockrell.
Huge save by Cockrell, reaches out, covers the puck.
Cockrell left a rebound there and pounced on it before Washington had a chance to do the same. As I was about to say, Nick Shabara, one of the big rookies for the Ducks, not dressed tonight. In fact, we understand he's a bit sick right now, and will be lucky to be able to play by next week or even by Pack 8. So we wish young Nick Shabara well, and Pat Scarlotta, playing on the second line in his place, has done a great job so far.
Traffic in front, the puck almost slips through to Cockrell, but it gets blocked by bodies. Washington's enjoying some sustained offense for some of the first time this game. Here's Oregon trying to gain some momentum behind the net with Taron Donnelly. Taron Donnelly tries to find Scarlotta. The puck bounces up. Scarlotta now comes with it, but we get an offsides call from the linesman.
Trevor McCarty a little bit ahead of the play there, and he was the reason that he kind of tipped that puck back, but before he knew it, he was over the blue line.
I want to thank you all on Twitter and on the Ustream social stream for helping us out with our technical issues. We are still trying to make this stream a better quality. It's kind of hard to go.
Penalty coming up against the Ducks.
We do have a penalty
Maybe
against
two.
the Ducks, getting chippy.
Hook is the call. And actually, no, it's going to go against Washington, so it was the initial contact on the play. And that looks like a big number 10 for the Huskies skating to the box. That's Kyle Umlauf, senior forward, 5'11", out of the state of Washington, so he'll sit down for 2 minutes. 9:50 left in this opening period as Oregon goes on the power play.
Oregon will have a power play here. We encourage everyone at home to tell us about the stream, specifically if it's not working for you, on Twitter at @Oregon_hockey. Here come the Ducks. Tyler Halverson. Here's the classic power play line of Stephen Casey. Halverson shoots on net. Great glove save from the Washington goalie.
That Oregon power play has been really effective so far today, setting up kind of in that umbrella, that semicircular shape, and just firing shots in from the point. No rebound that time, but it's been very effective so far for the Ducks, even though they haven't scored on it yet.
You must think eventually one of those will trickle through. Ducks with the face-off win. Taron Donnelly lays his body in, nobody there to meet his hit. Here comes 18 for Washington with a beautiful move around around Halverson, that was, captain of the Ducks.
Speaking of missed hip checks.
3 Ducks on 1 Husky right now. Barely able to get the puck. Husky looking for a call. The refs shake their head. Here comes Taryn. Taryn now with speed. Taryn still with speed behind the net. Content to drop it off to his teammate, Alex Solitzer. Alex looking for the call. He quit playing. It's something you don't see. You don't really see. Solitzer's...
No, he got a stick in the midsection there. Wasn't really enough, at least in this game, to get a call. You understand what he was looking for, but a little surprising to see him just stop playing in something that certainly I think is going to frustrate the Ducks coaching staff.
That'll definitely frustrate Coach Rich, as the Huskies kind of had this similar situation down in the Ducks corner to no call. So you have to wonder what he was thinking there, not playing that call through. Obviously, the ref will blow a whistle if he sees a penalty. Ducks try to keep it in the zone. Here's Stankovic. Stankovic finds Scarlotta. Scarlotta chips it through to McBride. A little bit too much weight on the pass as a Husky dumps it to the other end. No ice as we have a man in the box for the Huskies. Here comes Stankovic.
Still a minute left on that power play for the Ducks, and I'm sure that at this point the Huskies starting to get a little tired of killing penalties.
On this big ice, it gets pretty tiring. McCarty hit with a big hip check along the boards inside the Washington zone. Washington able to get the puck out of it, clear it to the length of the ice. Here's Stankovic again. Deja vu. Stankovic moves forward, finds McBride. McBride has some room to skate, enters the Washington zone, tries to chip it across, and again, well broken up by Washington. Impressive penalty kill from the Huskies.
Yeah, these very opposite halves of the penalty. The first minute of the penalty was great, consistent pressure from the Ducks, a lot of shots on goal, and since then it's just been clear, lather, rinse, repeat.
Here come the Ducks. Michael Luke with the big body, able to try to lean into the Husky there to get some space. Doesn't see a man coming from behind. Puck is picked off. Ducks swarming. Pat Taylor absorbs a hit along the boards. McBride comes out with it. McBride turns, slaps. Pat Taylor now.
Stick out of the penalty box.
Now we are at even strength here. Here come the Huskies. Kyle Umlauf for the Huskies. Uses his body there. Kyle Umlauf still now wins the puck against 3 Ducks. That's something you don't want to see on defense from the Ducks. The puck out in front. Refs' whistles go off. There's some gloves are coming off here, folks. And we got a little dog pile. It looks like the culprit's involved here for the Ducks.
It's a Husky on the bottom of the pile, number 20, the man at the bottom. Again, his name not on the roster.
We will call him number 20. And I think for the Ducks, we have Matthew Ackman, who took a little objection to the ref's call and a little objection to the Husky reaction.
So Jason Bartlett will sit for Washington. He's number 15. He skates to the box. Also sitting down for Washington, number 20, mystery player.
And Ackman for the Ducks heads to the box without his stick. And he had lost his helmet there on the ice. There are rules against fighting in the AC.
And Troy Gasser also sitting down. So a very crowded Washington penalty box. A little bit more room for Matthew Ackman to stretch out. Captains coming together at center ice now for the refs to explain the call as Matthew Ackman receives his stick.
Taron Donnelly gives him a little smile and a nod as he hands him his stick and skates to the bench. Refs have to talk this over. There are rules in this league against fighting. Sometimes they lead to suspensions. It's to be determined whether that is a fight or not. It looks like they're probably going to be sitting for reffing calls here.
Yeah, what they'll do in this league more often than not, unless they absolutely have no option, is just give them roughings. Sometimes double minors for roughing. Sometimes they'll give them a 10-minute misconduct as well, because if they have to call a fight, they got to suspend the player for the next game, and no one wants that to happen. Still good physical hockey. Good to see players sticking up for their goalies. You don't want a goalie to have to ever stick up for themselves. So nice there as Danny Cockrell made that save. There were Huskies that continued to press in on him.
Thanks for sticking with us here against the poor quality of the stream. We have limited internet access at this rink. It's one of the unexpected encounters that we must go through when we go to new rinks, and unfortunately this rink does not have easily accessible internet, so we're doing the best we can here. Sorry for decreasing the broadcast quality down to 480. Hopefully it does become a little bit smoother. We recommend that you at home, to help out, plug into an Ethernet source directly from a router. That will help the stream look a little bit clearer on your end, and also if you watch it on a smaller screen rather than blowing it up on a large screen TV, if you watch it on a laptop or a phone, for example, it'll look a little bit higher quality. So thank you for sticking with us. Still waiting on the explanations from the ref. Now we have Dan Solitzer and Tyler Halverson out here for the Ducks, as well as two Huskies. Number 12, that's Andrew Johnson out with captain. Can't see a number right now, but captain for the Huskies out there as well.
And this is always kind of the deal with hockey. The referees will explain penalties both to the captains and to the coaches once they get everything sorted out. Likely here what we'll have is some kind of a 10-minute misconduct for something. I don't think anyone's gotten a game yet. We will let you know as soon as we have some kind of an idea of exactly what has been called. For the time being, no score between the Ducks and Huskies. 7:27 left in the opening frame. And 15 for the Huskies is skating toward the locker room. So just as I say, no game misconduct, Jason Bartlett heads for a very early shower. And we'll keep an eye on the Oregon locker room door to see if any Ducks take a similar route.
So far, just two Huskies now talking to the refs. The Oregon bench has retreated. Still waiting on some calls. It takes a while for the penalty box and the people running the scoreboard to get everything written down, as they are responsible for the stats as well. Got to make sure everything is perfect there. We thank you for tuning in despite our internet problems. Hopefully we'll get some Oregon hockey back to you in a minute.
What's your name? Huh? And once again, a thank you to Lorenzo, the Twitter guy for Washington Hockey, helping out, taking some stats, and making sure we spot everything. There's a lot of things to try and keep our eyes on here. Connor, I believe, has gone to run off to try and fix some more internet issues again, as we have another Duck skating to the penalty box. It is number 26, Brock Burgess, taking a seat. Still no Ducks that appear to have been removed from the game. Just the one Husky, Jason Bartlett, given the game misconduct for the kerfuffle in front of the net, but a 5-minute penalty and a 5-minute penalty showing on the board for Bartlett, and a 4-minute penalty on the board for Ackman. No penalty on the scoreboard yet for Scarlatta, so what I'm going to think is that Ackman was given the 4 and a 10, and Scarlatta will serve Ackman's penalty, and then Ackman will stay in the box. I will try and keep you updated on that as we try and figure this out. Again, thank you for your patience.
Looks like the puck will drop in the Oregon half of the rink, just outside the blue line.
So Ackman and Burgess both in the box, but only one of their penalties is on the board. So again, my assumption here is that there was a 10-minute misconduct given to Matthew Ackman, and that Burgess is serving his 4-minute penalty, a 5-minute penalty showing on the board for Bartlett, although he was booted from the game, so that is being served by somebody else.
Here come the Ducks. Alex Solitzer tries to find a pass into the slot, broken up by the Huskies. Here comes Taron Donnelly in a race for the puck with Remedios for the Huskies. Here comes the purple team. Ducks now with possession. Tyler Halverson. Halverson finds Solitzer, who dumped it nicely into the zone. His brother Alex unable to corral the puck. Here comes Washington, content with killing off a little bit of time. That's Minkoff.
So much open space anyway with 4-on-4, and then you add this giant Olympic sheet of ice here. A lot of room for players to maneuver, also takes a lot of work. So Washington kind of content to play a little bit of keep away.
Andrew Johnson finds Corey James. Minkoff now finds James again, broken up by Halverson. Halverson finds McCarty. McCarty's a quick one. He has hands. Here comes, doesn't throw the deke, instead throws the puck on net.
Well, we have a duck in the goal.
A duck ends up in the goal. I think, is that
Does that
Stephen
count for
Casey?
half a goal, maybe?
I'm sure the Ducks wish it would. However, Washington players do not like to see a duck spill over their goalie, especially when his helmet and head is out on the ice.
No, and in fairness, that's a little bit different kind of sequence. It wasn't than the play we just had, but similar to what just happened at the other end of the ice that led to a Husky getting ejected from the game. So both teams are going to stick up for their goalies, as they should. Goalies are important players, and they're not really going to be able to fight for themselves. They have to mind their own business in the net between the pipes.
Here comes a face-off in the Husky zone. McBride for the face-off for the Ducks. Apologize if I have a little bit of trouble with the Huskies' names tonight. Their roster numbers are purple on the back of their black jerseys, so they're a little bit hard to see the numbers. Here's Stankovic, does well to keep the puck up in the zone for the Ducks. Spin move, still finds space, gets hit from behind, eats a little bit of ice, but McBride there to clean up after him. McBride and a Husky were there pinned in the corner together, thought they were fighting for the puck, but it had come loose, and now it is loose in the Ducks zone with Black taking control. Black dumps it towards the middle through the slot, but only finds McBride for the Ducks. McBride speed move around a Husky. McBride again shoots off the helmet of the goalie. And after a little bit of sketchy passing, the Huskies do have it behind the net. 11
shots so far for the Ducks, 8 for the Huskies, so a lot of offense for the Ducks, and a lot of rebounds off of those shots.
You'd imagine some of the, as we have a whistle, you'd imagine some of these rebounds eventually will fall to the opponent's stick, and it will end up being a goal. It's just, I think the question is, which team will get the lucky rebound first? Maybe not the lucky rebound, but the fortunate rebound.
So Brock Burgess just left the box, and there's no penalty indicated on the board that expired. I think he may have thought he was only given a 2-minute penalty.
He's looking for an
And there was a whistle immediately, and he's being escorted back to the box.
We want to thank Ty Anderton for helping us out with the camera tonight. Ducks goalie is doing a great job, and thank him and thank you for bearing with us as we try to figure out our internet situation. It looks like Brock will be sitting for at least another 2 minutes now. Abate and Halverson both looking for explanations from the ref. Seems like there's a little bit of confusion from the box and from the players, and even maybe between the refs. We'll try to sort that out for you as we find out ourselves.
Certainly, I don't think anyone's accusing Burgess of trying to cheat any time there. I think there was just legitimate confusion.
Absolutely.
He's certainly doesn't appear to be given any additional penalties for leaving the box early. Just kind of confusing because his penalty was never put on the scoreboard. He was kind of keeping his time himself. So he may be the one that was given some kind of a 10-minute misconduct or something like that, because his penalty continues to not be on the board.
We did not see his, or at least I did not see his involvement in that little clash that ended up in the Washington game misconduct, but in the box he is regardless. Here are the Ducks. Solitzer tries to kick it towards the center, and here is Jesse Leonard for the Ducks, or Dan Solitzer rather, tries to keep it in, but here it comes. Washington now, up the right wing, tries to speed move around Solitzer. Here's Alex Solitzer. Finds his space, finds his brother Dan Solitzer. Dan Solitzer finds Halverson. Halverson up the right wing. Halverson centers the puck off of Washington's skate. Here comes Alex Solitzer. Big hit and a little tug, and it will be called. I think that's a great call from the ref. Ducks still have the puck. Obviously, the Washington fans are taking a little bit of objection to it.
I think what got called there wasn't the initial hit. It was the tug down afterwards.
Absolutely. Clean hit in the first place, but the tug really caused the penalty there. Unnecessary as he had already won the puck. Here comes Halverson now. Halverson, big body, good hands. And now the Huskies will touch the puck. And
indeed it is the hold called, so no boarding, no charging, just the hold called for the tug and pull downwards after the hit was made. It was unfortunate for the Husky because it was a great hit, and it's the Huskies captain actually that's getting into the box.
2 minutes for Minkoff, 2 minutes in the sin bin. for the captain of the Huskies.
And you may be able to hear some of the Husky fans voicing their displeasure.
So right now we have 3 penalties shown on the board. We have 1:40 and 2 minutes left and 2 Washington penalties, and we have 40 seconds left in that Ackman penalty.
So the rare 4-on-3 here.
A lot of space on this ice. And a shot goes through, trickles in. We have a goal for the Oregon Ducks. McCarty out there in front. Shot came from the point.
Great shot by Michael Luke there. Looks like it was deflected in front. We'll try and listen for who gets credit for the goal. And it's Trevor McCarty who skates to the bench first.
Trevor
Usually
McCarty
the
looks like he's
indication
taking credit for that
of the
one.
goal
Not sure
scorer.
yet.
And he kind of gives a little bit of a pump up to the crowd, maybe a bit sarcastic, trying to pump up the Washington fans. Ducks take the not so early lead. 4 minutes left in the first as Minkoff's penalty has expired. But the major penalty... No, Minkoff's penalty is still on the board, but he just skated to the bench.
I think that is correct. I think he would be out of the box right now. Refs seem a little bit confused. They're talking to Coach Rich for the Ducks. Ducks player seems a little confused as well. A lot of pointing back and forth going on.
And I think there's just some kind of scoreboard confusion because the scoreboard can't distinguish between what's a major and what's a minor. So Minkoff does get to leave the box. He was only serving the 2-minute minor. And the man who was in there earlier serving the major that was assessed to Jason Bartlett when he was tossed from the game will stay in there as, again, he was serving a major penalty. So 1-0 for the Ducks. Shot came from the point from Michael Luke on the power play and was deflected in by Trevor McCarty. And they are neglecting to put the goal on the scoreboard for now, but we'll just wait till they get the ruling on there. Certainly no indication that they won't. It was a good goal from everything we could see. And the face-off's coming to center ice, so just a delay in the scoreboard operator. Nothing other than that to report here. 4 minutes left in the first. And the Ducks with a lead in shots and now a lead on the scoreboard to go with it.
We encourage you all to interact with us on Twitter or on our social stream. Shout out to my dad, RG486, for interacting with us on the social stream. If you would like to contact us directly, please feel free to make a Ustream account. It's completely free. You can interact with us there. Alternatively, you can interact with us on Twitter, as we have both open and in front of us. Our Twitter handle is @Oregon_hockey. We are monitoring both streams. If you have comments, questions, concerns, please contact us there, and we will contact you right back. Here come the Huskies with the face-off win. 1-0 for the Ducks, 3:55 to go.
And for some reason, that goal is still not on the scoreboard, but the face-off was at center ice, so it clearly counted. Just a little confusing. Another rebound.
We'll get that clarified for you as soon as we can, but for now, we will assume it's 1-0 Ducks. Washington now with the puck, chips it in the Oregon zone. Halverson not only absorbs a hit, but lays a little elbow in himself, and a Husky goes tumbling to the ice. Still maintains puck control in the Oregon zone. A little slap pass down low. Here's number 10 for the Huskies. That's Umlauf. Umlauf throws it towards the center, but here comes Ackman. Ackman, after his long spell in the box, is finally free. Ducks lose the puck. Huskies content to chip it up. That is called off icing. No icing here. Taron Donnelly now with tons of ice to skate up. Here comes Donnelly, weighing his options. He finds Casey. Casey, nice stop to keep himself on sides, and the puck crossing that blue line first. Casey finds Solitzer. Still on a power play are the Ducks. Here's Halverson. Great look across. Casey not in the right position to redirect that on net. Chipped in front by Alex Solitzer, deflected out by a Husky. Runs all the way down to Cockrell.
Those always make you kind of nervous, don't they? When that clearance just trickles to the goalie. You never know if it's going to hit his stick weird and manage to trickle in. No danger there for Cockrell. He's nice and calm, as we said, in the net. But so many weird things happen in this game.
We've already seen that full-length chip to a goalie twice on Cockrell. Both times have been a little bit sketchy, but Cockrell's a well-trusted goalie here at Oregon Hockey. He's been around this program for a while.
The ice here, as I don't mean to keep harping on this, or not harping. Harping would be exactly the wrong word. It's really a great quality sheet of ice here. It's not sticky. It's real slick. Talking with Justin Lacasse in the van on the way here, and he was saying this was always one of his favorite surfaces to play on. compared to the shot and a save by the Husky goalie, compared to the ice at Lane County, which is a very freezing cold building and somehow still kind of a slushy, sticky ice surface at times. And it's those kind of surfaces that you really worry about the full-length clearances.
Absolutely. Another shot on net. Well deflected wide by the Washington goalie. Taryn Donnelly chips it down into the zone.
Seems to really be a part of the Ducks' game plan, getting those shots in from the point. When they won the I-5 Cup last year, Tyler Halverson forced overtime in the game where the Ducks clinched the series at on a shot from the blue line with about a minute and a half left in that game.
We've seen a lot of success.
The top corner.
We've seen a lot of success coming from shots from the point, especially from Luke and Halverson. Scarlotta comes in with a big hit from the Washington zone. Clean hit, well
done. In
done.
front of the Husky bench too.
Right now we have 1:35 left on the clock. 1-0 has now been put on the board. Ducks lead, 1:30 to go. Here comes number 14, Pat Taylor for the Ducks. Pat Taylor skates, tries to center it. It gets broken up. 1:20 to go. Here come the Huskies. Here's Kokak.
You know, we haven't spoken about it much this year, but both of these
big hit from Michael Luke. Oh, and slow to get up is number 14. That's Brambat for the Huskies.
And that hit is going to draw a penalty. The arm up from the referee and from the referees in the stands as they are now pointing Michael Luke to the penalty box. He will sit down. Could be a cross-check, could be a checking from behind. We'll wait the official call.
A lot of bumping and pushing and shoving going on here. Ducks responding well to the bumps from the Washington team, not sitting back and letting the hits come to them. They are completely content to throw their bodies around themselves. And we have some big bodies here tonight, Isaac, with Michael Luke and Tyler Halverson, but we are missing Will Daniels tonight.
Yeah, and some big boys on the Husky squad, too. You have James Gilmore, a law student, is 6'3". Troy Gasser is 6'3". J.D. White is 6'2". Andrew Johnson 6'4". So some big boys on both teams, and they are throwing their weight around for sure.
Thank you to our viewers out there, about 30 of you watching live right now. Now that we kind of have our stream under control, we encourage you to share this on Twitter with your family and friends, or family and friends of the team. Here come the Huskies now with possession at the point. There's a powerful shot on the ground from the point by Gasser.
A lot of traffic in front of that shot, too. Fortunately for Cocker, he was able to see it, throw his left leg out on it, kick it wide.
James finds Gasser. Gasser, slap pass across to a Husky. Tries to center it. Able to be cleared the length of the ice by Dan Solitzer. 39 seconds remaining here in the first period. 1:32 shows on that Luke penalty. So we will have a power play carryover, bar a goal being scored by Washington. Here comes the Huskies down the right wing. Chips behind the net. Here's James. James finds Meekoff at the point. Meekoff back to James. They switch places. James now at the point. James finds Gasser. Gasser seems to be the man teeing up the slap shots from the point. Cockrell lost the puck. Ends up on his behind. Still able to make a save. Puck clears the zone.
Speaking of saves, good save there with the behind.
Absolutely. That does end the first period. We're going to cut you off pretty quick here to address some of our internet issues. Thank you for staying with us. We will be back for a short intermission show pending our internet availability here. Thank you so much. We will be back.
Okay, well, as long as we're streaming, fine.
Don't forget to bring our audio back in, sir. And then give us a countdown. Wait, let me eat a Sour Patch Kid first.
Important business.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to Oregon Hockey here. As the Zamboni man is just finishing his rounds around this Olympic-sized rink, we had a very exciting first period here, brought to you live via Ustream. Isaac, we started off that period with a lot of bumps, a lot of bruises, and even a game misconduct. How do you think that physicality is going to carry over to the second period?
Well, I think that's the big question mark, and both coaches right now are in the locker room trying to emphasize to their teams to harness that physicality, harness that hatred, but also play with discipline, and that's always the trouble in these games, is trying to keep your guys out of the box. And as we saw, the Oregon goal, the difference in this game, the tip-in by Trevor McCarty on Michael Luke's shot from the point came on the power play, and the more time you can spend on the power play, obviously, there's a reason you want that advantage. You don't want to be killing off a penalty. Even if you're not scoring on the power play, you're forcing the other team to work harder, and that was a big part of this first period as the Ducks just, kind of wore down UW. Oregon ends up with a 16-10 advantage in shots on goal and a very similar number, a 15-10 advantage in the faceoff circle. I started to get into this a little bit toward the end of the period, Connor. Both of these teams have been on both sides of a lot of blowout games this year. The Utahs of the world have really had their way with both of these teams, and then both of these teams have kind of had their way with the Washington States of the world. So this team is kind of the first time for both of these teams that they've really been able to play against their equals. And they've kind of felt each other out. There's been a lot of shots on goal, a lot of rebounds, particularly on the Washington end. Not to take anything away from Jacob Gilmore, who's been absolutely fantastic for the Huskies in goal. This could be a very different game than 1-0. And Danny Cockerell, as you would expect, has been great on the other end of the ice for the Ducks, facing those 10 shots on goal from the Huskies. But as I said, for the first time, Oregon has a very even opponent that they're playing against, and they've looked great against them. They've looked strong defensively. They haven't allowed too many shots, although 10's probably right about at the point where it's a little bit more than Coach Salahor would like to give up in a period. With 16 shots in a period offensively, that's dynamite, and they've been coming from the point. They've been structured shots. They've been getting deflections in front, and one of those deflections found Trevor McCarty's stick and found the back of the net. 1-0 is the Ducks' lead.
And Cockerell has been impressive tonight, as he usually is. We also have had some great saves from the Husky goalie. One thing interesting about the Ducks is they seem to stay true to the kind of game plan of the season. I think that's finding the open shot at the point, getting traffic in the slot in front of the net, throwing a puck on net from the point, and what do you know, it trickled in one of these times.
Yeah, and if it's not broke, why fix it? And it's been, it's how the Ducks succeeded against the Huskies last year. It's how they've had a little bit of success against them so far this year. One other thing we do want to point out, the mystery man on the Huskies is number 20. He was listed as number 22 on the roster, so that was the confusion from us. That is Brian Vandermoon. So Brian Vandermoon, number 22 on the roster, actually wears number 20, so he will no longer be a mystery man, as we now know who he is. About 2.5 minutes left before the beginning of the second period, although no teams or referees on the ice yet, so that might be a bit of an estimate time-wise.
We want to thank all of you for tuning in. Don't forget to interact with us on Twitter at Oregon_hockey, or communicate with Dylan, our producer, on the Ustream social stream. You can reach both of us there. Please let us know how your experience is, and please feel free to share the link with your friends, family, or friends and family of your Ducks hockey players. We will be back in 1 minute and 30 seconds for the beginning of the second period. Stay tuned. This has been a hard-hitting physical game so far, and I'd expect it to get even a little bit more intense. We will see you soon. Thank you. Hello, folks. We're back here. We have about 30 seconds left till the players and the refs take the ice. We'll just do a quick recap of that first period. As we were saying, very physical period, Isaac.
Yeah, very physical period. Lots of penalties. We had one game misconduct thrown to Jason Bartlett of Washington after a coming together of players in front of Danny Cockerell, and he must have done something a little bit additional. He might have been the third man into that infraction, would be my guess as to why he was the only one given the gate. And then Trevor McCarty gives the Ducks the lead, deflecting in Michael Luke's shot from the point. Oregon with the 16-10 advantage on shots on goal and a 15-10 advantage in the face-off circle. We want to again thank Lorenzo, UW's Twitter guy, for keeping those stats for us. Very helpful. We have a very small broadcast crew, and to have a statistician even for one night is a great luxury.
We'll give you a little tour right here of the booth. We got Dylan right here on audio, and we have our camera up there. Hopefully Ty Anderson will be back to operate that camera. And then we have Isaac and I right here, and we got our UW friend helping us with stats. So that's how we're operating right now. Not a lot of space, but we're doing our best. We want to thank you all for staying with us. We're going to cut back to the ice now as the skaters are coming on, and we'll get you ready here for the second period.
Hopefully that means we have a cameraman coming back to us.
Hopefully it does.
Otherwise Dylan's going to have to pull some double duty. Very great turnout tonight from the Husky faithful. The bleachers here at Olympic View Ice in Mount Lake, Washington. Okay, so as I was saying, a great turnout here from the Husky faithful at the Olympic View Arena in Mount Lake Terrace, Washington. Bleachers are, they could be a little bit fuller, but you know what? They really could not be much more full. And they've been loud, they've been rowdy, they've been really making a bit of an impact on this game, as they always do. It's been one thing that when you talk to the Duck players as they come home from this trip, they always have stories to tell you about what the Husky fans say to them. And as you can see, maybe we can get a little bit of a shot from our camera guy of just how close the fans are. If we zoom out a little bit, how close the fans are to that Duck penalty box. They are right up against it, and they will let you have it in the box. And they do not, well, let's say they do not censor themselves in the same way that I am forced to do in my attempt to be a remotely professional broadcaster up here in the makeshift booth. It gets pretty rowdy down there, as it should in a hockey game. and it can certainly make it a hostile place to play. They have been able in the past to really get into the Ducks' heads at times, force them into taking dumb penalties. So far today, that has not been the case. A very disciplined approach from the Ducks. Penalties have been, they've happened, but they haven't been too big of an impact on this game from the Ducks' standpoint. Certainly, if you're Washington, you'd like to see a little more discipline as that penalty led to the Ducks' goal be tugged down by Ryan Minkoff after what would have been a great hit. And what was a great hit, and then he just pulled his man down, and right in front of the referee, he's not going to not call that.
Absolutely. For the Ducks, for the big hits, we will look to Michael Luke, of course. He's number 18 on the Ducks. And we also will be looking at some other big bodies, Jesse Leonard, and Brock Burgess has been throwing his weight around here tonight. Here's the opening face-off. Alex Solitzer up. Alex Solitzer on the chase now. Here's the Huskies. They throw it behind. That's Andrew Johnson. Here come the Ducks. Now it gets chipped the length of the ice. Sorry about that. We had a little bit of broadcast booth difficulties there. Here come the Huskies now with some speed up the right wing. Lays the puck off. Slips now. Doesn't slow down Corey James as he enters the zone. There's Gasser tripped up by Dan Solitzer as he comes in the zone. Shot from the point. Had some oomph on it. Cockrell there. He's good for it. Here comes Dan Solitzer. Dan Solitzer now slips the puck through. Lays down his man even with the puck. There we go. And now here come the Huskies with a little bit of possession. Here's Corey James, a name I've been saying a lot tonight here, getting a lot of time on the ice.
Matthew Ackman.
Great move by the Huskies. Oh, deep towards the center. Cockrell able to cover. That was a beautiful move by the Huskies. Number 8. What a move by Kakok.
I'd like to give a shout out also to the giant dog that is attending this game. I'm a big fan of dogs.
I prefer there to be some ducks kind of waddling around here, but
it's a little harder to have a duck, flying around the ice than have a dog on a leash. Always nice to see a dog-friendly arena. You'd think a Husky arena would be dog-friendly.
Absolutely. Off the opening face-off was a little shot towards Cockrell, able to push it wide. Huskies now content to dump into the zone and turn over control. Perhaps not the most heads-up decision, as now the Ducks will have some time. Chance starting here from the Washington crowd, trying to build their momentum. Huskies chance you might be able to hear. Here's Huskies behind the net. That's Vandermoon. Vandermoon finds the point. That's Remedios. Remedios shot on goal. Great stick check out by Cockrell. What an opportunity by the Huskies. Another shot pushed wide by Cockrell. And that is Scarlato absorbing a big hit as he tries to clear the zone. Puck dribbles back to him. He does try to clear. Oh, almost deflected in front by Husky, who's kind of maybe penalized in front. Refs, no whistle. Here comes McCarty.
Cockrell just absolutely on his game tonight. He's seeing everything, and vision so important for a goaltender, and Cockrell is seeing better than 2020 tonight.
Absolutely. Great save by Cockrell. Underrated save. Puck dribbling out towards him in front. Any stick could have touched that into the open net behind him. His stick, however, was the first to meet the puck. Big poke check from Cockrell. Saved a goal, saved the game. 1-0 still Ducks here. 17:52 to go.
And that's a risky move from a goaltender to throw that stick check out there, because if you get the puck, hey, it's great, you can loosen it up, but you really not. But if you miss the puck, all of a sudden, the rest of your body is out of position to make that save. So it's really a do or die move when you make that puck, either to at least get a stick in there and make it harder for the man to shoot. Cockrell did one better. He got the puck.
We've said this before, but right now Cockrell's the player of the game, but the game is not over. Trevor McCarty now takes a shot on net. 5-hole of the Huskies goalie. Deflected wide. Well saved by the Huskies. Here come now the black and purple team with speed across the blue line. Great body check by Taron Donnelly. Both players go sliding into the goal. I don't think there's much ill will there. He's just trying to play the body, get him off the puck, and it's a slippery surface, folks.
Yeah, ice is slippery. You learn ice is analysis here on the Oregon Ducks Hockey Broadcasting Network. And I think there you just had players kind of come together. Their legs got tangled up. They slid into the net. Everyone gets up. No penalties called on the play. And the face-off is going to be to Danny Cockrell's right.
pads or no pads, sliding into a metal bar that's pretty firmly cemented into the ice. It doesn't feel good. Shot on goal, wide. Cockrell doesn't need to get a hand on that one, although he did look ready for it. Here comes Taryn Donnelly, switches points of attack. Here we go now. Ducks skating forward. Pat Taylor sidesteps a hit, and Husky goes into the bench. Pat Taylor now retaliates. No call from the ref.
We do have a call
from the other side.
And as we, every analyst who have ever called the game of hockey and football and really any sport will tell you it's not the hit that gets called, it's the retaliation, it's the second action, and that is the case as Pat Taylor will take the skate of shame over to the penalty box, or maybe it's a skate of honor in a game like the I-5 Cup.
Absolutely.
Whatever the case may be, he sits down for 2 minutes.
For those first-time viewers here of Oregon versus Washington, this series is considered the I-5 Cup. That's the Interstate 5, the highway that connects Eugene to Seattle up here, and the winner of the 4-game series will take home the I-5 Cup. Next week, we'll go live from our home rink in Eugene at the Lane County Ice Center with definitely better internet and a hardwire connection. So please tell your friends, tell your kids, tell your wife, tell your husband. Tune in next week. We will be live from the Lane County Ice Center in Eugene. Cockrell with another save.
What else is new? 17:02 left in the second period of play. Ducks with the 1-0 lead.
Here come the Huskies from the point. Off to pass it across, switching the point. On shot, deflects high off of his stick, up above the blocker of Danny Cockrell. Here come the Huskies again from the point. Switching points of attack now. Throws the puck low.
Very interesting power play look from Washington rather than take those shots at the point.
Great stick work by Black. Tried to get short side high, glove side on Cockrell right there. Still, Cockrell's up to the task. Here come the Huskies now. They've enjoyed a good amount of time in the zone. Scarlotta gets the puck. They look like they could have had a 3-on-2 right there, but some tired Ducks out there. Scarlotta and Abate go for a change. Here comes Solitzer and Alex Solitzer and Dan Solitzer to change. Dan now forced to come back and play some D against Minkoff, the captain of the Huskies. Here comes Solitzer.
So as we're saying, two contrasting styles on the power play.
And now here come the Ducks. Solitzer again. Alex Solitzer finds Taryn Donnelly. 2-on-2 now. Taryn Donnelly. No one really skating too hard back now. Taryn and Alex now 2-on-2. Finally some Huskies return to add some support. Skating leisurely now as they are on the power play. And the Washington goalie will cover.
So a face-off in the Washington zone on the Duck power play, and this is going to give both teams a chance to get new special teams units out there. 34 seconds left in the penalty to Pat Taylor, and it's going to be Solitzer taking the face-off for the Ducks to the left of the Husky netminder.
We've been talking a lot about Danny Cockrell tonight, but Jacob Gilmore has had a game too.
Yeah, he has, and he's faced a lot more shots than Cockrell, and other than that one, he's looked pretty good. You might say he's given up a few more rebounds than you might like. He hasn't really been a vacuum, but he's been a brick wall.
He has been. Here are the Huskies now with sustained pressure from Alex Solitzer. Alex Solitzer picks the puck off, does really well 1 against 3, but unable to get his shot on net as it deflected in front. Here comes Huskies now, number 6. That's Cowcock. Cowcock now. Still on the puck is Cowcock. Rotates it around. Here is Vandermoon. Vandermoon with some time on the puck. He finds Brambat. Brambat throws it low. Finally, out comes Stankovic with the puck. Stankovic uses a speed move around a Husky. Has some space to skate if he can outskate one more. Throws it on net. He didn't look too sure that did Gilmore. Yet the Huskies have the puck back. Here's Dan Solitzer with the forecheck.
Ducks back at even strength here.
Here's Brock Burgess now at left D for the Ducks. And Stankovic is his D partner. Puck gets thrown to the middle. Burgess in a foot race now. Unable to get to the puck. Here come the Huskies. Stankovic is the only one back. Tries to deke around him, does the Washington right winger. Washington still now in the neutral zone with the puck. Dumps it in. Some Huskies will go for a change. Brock Burgess will corral the puck. Skating forward. Still Burgess chips it through. Huskies regain control of the puck. Bad pass. McCarty jumps on it. McBride noted for sharp shooting. Shoots. Deflected wide. Still in the zone is McCarty. McCarty on net.
And McCarty had a chance there. Had he been a little bit more set up, he didn't really have the angle to get his stick on that. But a rebound again from that shot from McBride.
Shot on net by Ackman. Gilmore was up for it. Here come the Huskies. Turn it over to Taron Donnelly. Poor turnover. That's McBride trying to deflect the puck in front, but ended up knocking it down basically to his own skates. Great look. Here's a one-on-one, and Cockrell shoots and scores. Huskies, the crowd goes wild. It's a 1-1 game here in Seattle, Washington.
And the giveaway there from the Ducks leads to a breakaway basically for the Huskies. And, Cockrell's going to stop a lot of them. He's not going to be able to stop them all. No one can stop them all.
It was a two against one. Taron Donnelly, the only man back. One little soft pass through the slot. Oncoming was a Washington Husky player. All he had to do was find that open piece of twine behind Cockrell. He did his job, put the puck away. That's what a forward is supposed to do. He should have scored that. He did score it. It's a 1-1 hockey game. Washington Huskies right away with the face-off win. Huskies again.
And Matthew Ackman went for a big check there, almost threw himself into the bench.
We're going to see a lot of action after that goal, folks. Here comes Tyler Halverson now with an extra little pep in his step. And that Jake Yale now getting some ice time. Here come the Huskies again to the audience. Another shot! Another goal! High glove side on Cockrell into the corner. You don't snipe much harder than that, folks. What a goal. Cockrell, not much he could do there. Defense let him down.
No.
2-1. Washington Huskies deserve 2-1. Great team move. They built up their momentum. 13-17 to go, and now the Ducks are down 1 goal here in the second period.
Yeah, and the man sniped that so hard he fell over on his celly. I don't know if we were able to catch that on our cameras, but it was pretty entertaining to see. But the important part of that is it's a 2-1 lead now for Washington, and they've really gotten this crowd back into this game. It started to get noisy at the beginning of the second period, and since that first goal, and especially the second goal, boy, has it gotten a lot louder.
Momentum shift here, folks. The Ducks only 2 minutes ago enjoyed a 1-0 lead. Now down 2-1 to go. Some words of encouragement from Alex Solitzer to Danny Cockrell were spoken after that goal. Cockrell, not known to get frazzled in high-pressure situations. See how he rebounds from these 2 shots and 2 consecutive goals. A little bit faster do the Ducks look right now.
And really, neither goal is one you could blame on Cockrell. Maybe a little bit of questioning on that second one, but particularly that first one. I mean, when you leave a goalie on a breakaway, there's nothing you can do, and it was just a great shot on that second goal. You can't ask much more.
It was a great shot. It hit netting in that top right corner. Rather than kind of drift back into the netting, it hit that netting and it dropped straight down. It was a snipe. Not much Cockrell can do about that. Bad positioning from his defenders to let that opportunity happen. Not much he could do there. Big hit. Great hit by a Duck number 23, Jesse Leonard. That's the kind of physicality the Ducks are going to need to turn around. Here's Stankovic now. He tries to find Stephen Casey, doesn't find him, but Solitzer is there. Dan Solitzer now sends it in. Here comes Stephen Casey. Stephen Casey, usually the top center for the Ducks, with those Solitzer brothers on either wing. Expect a lot from this top line here if the Ducks want to get some momentum back. Here is Taron Donnelly, clears the zone.
Again, we talked about that momentum shift, and the Ducks haven't been able to come up with much of a response to it since they've, just kind of been letting the Huskies come at them and playing a little bit more in a defensive shell than they were just moments ago. We'll see if they can get that turned around as the pass is given into McCarty in the neutral zone.
Scarlotta now. Scarlotta with McCarty trailing behind him. Scarlotta aims for that top right corner from no angle whatsoever, really. He hits it high and wide. 2 Ducks collide to the Husky, McBride and McCarty there, exchanging some words with the Husky and with the ref. Scarlotta now chasing the puck. McBride now behind the net, putting some pressure on Gasser for the Washington Huskies. Puck right in front. No Ducks there to redirect it on net. Taron Donnelly hits one on net. McBride there, unable to get it in. Scarlotta now. Scarlotta throws it to the point. Donnelly has a big shot, throws it on net. Scarlotta's there. Scarlotta's still there. Little Alex Ovechkin move does Scarlotta and McBride both down playing the puck. Great defense by Washington to keep that out. Great effort by the Ducks to try to get that in.
Is there a penalty called there, or did the ref just lose sight of the puck?
I believe the ref lost sight of the puck. There were a lot of bodies laying on the ice. The Ducks don't seem too happy about some of the calls. Scarlotta has some words with the ref. McCarty now has some words with the ref.
That's one of those kind of unfortunate things with hockey. I mean, the rule is very clear. When the referee loses sight of the puck, you've got to blow it dead right there. Unfortunately for the Ducks, it was loose in front of goal, but the ref couldn't see it.
Here come the Ducks now with the face-off win. Hand pass by Washington will be called. No penalty on the play, but it is a hand pass. The Ducks will get an offensive zone face-off. Isaac, 10:54 here to go in the second period. Within a matter of 2 minutes, this went from a 1-0 Ducks game to a 2-1 Husky game. What do you think the Ducks need to do for the rest of this period to maybe get some of this momentum back before the third?
Well, I'd like to see the Ducks get back into their game plan offensively, get more shots from the point, create traffic in front, and just create problems for Gilmore.
Here comes Casey now. Beautiful spin move. Puck's loose in front. Another pile up. I think the puck is in the net. We shall see. I think the whistle.
No goal indication.
No goal indication. The whistle was blown. I think the puck ended up there after the goalie was pushed in the net. Slow to get up as he scrapes his skate and his pad out of the net.
And he gets an attaboy from his teammates. Jacob Gilmore again, the junior goalie, 6'1" from the state of Washington, wears number 30 for the Huskies, and he will sleep well tonight, I guarantee you that.
Coaches for the Huskies tonight, David Kell, Matt Cleaton, and Zach Richardson. Coaches for the Oregon Ducks, Rich Salahar, Adam Bernhardt, who's not here tonight, and Justin Lacasse. Justin Lacasse, a former player. Here's Brock Burgess now, current player for the Ducks. Back to the game, and Brock Burgess' shot gets deflected up and into the netting. The face-off is going to stay in the Huskies' defensive zone. Beautiful rink here. It's a little bit bigger than the rink that we have at Lane County Ice Center. I believe this is an Olympic-sized rink. It's probably another 3 or 4 feet wider on either side, maybe a little bit longer, a few feet on either end. So Ducks getting a little bit more space to skate than they're used to. Ducks, Washington rather, as this is their home rink, they've had a little bit more time to practice, but we will see how the rest of the game plays out and who's able to take advantage of more space. To Washington taking advantage of that space now as they get a shot on Cockrell, who is hugging his post and never was going to let that one through. Casey now, silky hands off the play. Dan Solitzer gets knocked to the ground, shouts to the ref. Solitzers, though, they're known for kind of speaking with the ref maybe more than they should. Here is Stankovic, finds Alex Solitzer. Solitzer, nice beautiful hands, quick cuts. However, tries to get too cute maybe with that little spinorama pass. There to play defense, though, to get it back is Alex Solitzer. Stankovic now chips it up, and now we have a breakaway almost for Dan Solitzer. Dan chips it in, deflected wide. He wasn't able to corral that puck quick enough for the shot.
Boy, that was a dangerous moment there as far as the Huskies are concerned. And it's been interesting to see. You talked about how much more familiar Washington is with this big ice surface. A big part of their play, particularly on the power play, has been time on the puck, and it's been skating with the puck rather than the Ducks using a lot more passing plays to try and get shots from the point.
Absolutely. McBride, McCarty, and Scarlotta out here for the Ducks. Second line tonight. Here comes McCarty, chips it into the zone. McBride skating after it. A little lackadaisical with the puck are Washington in their own zone, and Oregon has already capitalized that a few times. Not able to capitalize it on that time. Here comes Mooch, Taron Donnelly. Players affectionately refer to him as Mooch, chips it into the zone. McBride now corrals the puck just outside of the zone, turned, flips it in. Jake Yale on the chase, freshman.
Yale getting some quality ice time here in the second period. Again, he's gotten a lot of ice time this year. We mentioned the super freshman Nick Shabara not traveling with the Ducks to Washington.
Nick Shabara, who wears the 36 sweater. Jake Yale, similarly a freshman, is wearing the 37 sweater. He's out here tonight. Ooh, puck trickles by, finds a lane past Cockrell, a few feet wide of the post. Ducks having a little bit of trouble getting their sticks together tonight. Halverson, though, with some speed. Halverson, nice dangle, tries to flip a backhand on net, not enough power behind it yet. He still comes out with the puck, finds Taron Donnelly. Taron Donnelly shoots, puck loose in front, still loose. Washington tries to swing it behind the net. Here's Abate. Abate absorbs a big hit. He was ready to absorb that one, and he did. Jake Yale now. Short, but a big body Jake Yale has. He's not easily pushed around. Finds Halverson. Halverson skates a little bit to find himself some room. Deflection from Pat Taylor goes to the corner.
And Taylor on that previous play had a great look in front of goal. Unfortunately wasn't able to put it in, but he's been active.
Pat Taylor finds Halverson. This is what the Ducks want to see. Shots from the point. Yale now behind the net. Yale still working hard. This looks like an Oregon Duck power play, but it isn't. Halverson now. Halverson shoots.
In fact, Michael Luke actually standing in the box. There's no penalty time up. He might have been given a 10-minute misconduct earlier. He's standing up. Looks like he's ready to go at the next
Sorry, we
whistle.
missed that, folks. I believe Michael Luke did get a misconduct. He will come out of the box at the next whistle. Ducks, though, right now, 5-on-5, are playing this like it's a 5-on-3. Halverson spin move. Washington looks exhausted out there, folks. They're playing tight D right in front of the net. Sloppy D, one might say. Puck gets thrown in front. Halverson still there. Duck still on the puck. Washington's not going to be able to change. They look tired, folks. Yale keeps it in the zone. Yale shoots. Gets through traffic. Pushed just wide. Here comes
Oregon
Abate.
smells blood.
Smells blood. Abate, Yale. Yale keeps the puck in the zone. Here's Taron Donnelly. Taron Donnelly throws it on net. Washington's Gilmore tries to get a glove on it, give his skaters a break, unable to do so. Halverson at the point. Halverson finds Abate. Abate dances on that left leg, winding up a shot, little fake. Gilmore covers finally. Washington is thankful that they're going to get to the bench right now, Isaac.
Yeah, they are, and both teams, look at that, just look absolutely exhausted after that shift. A great shift from Oregon, and I don't think that was the top line out there either. And they just were able to get shot after shot after shot. None of them got through, but anytime you can have a shift like that, boy, does that take a toll. 6:17 left. It's 2-1 Huskies, but the Ducks with that last shift may have scraped a little bit of momentum back into their favor. We'll see if they can piggyback on that as the face-off remains in the Washington zone.
McBride wins the face-off for the Ducks. Thrown on net, but unfortunately wide for the Ducks players. McCarty now. McCarty finds 23 for the Ducks. Jesse Leonard. Jesse Leonard finds McBride. McBride throws the puck into open space to a Husky. Husky gets a shot on net right in the center of the O on Danny Cockrell's chest.
That's like a big target there sometimes, and Danny just vacuums that up. Face-off going to come in the Duck zone for the first time in what feels like 4 or 5 minutes.
Absolutely.
That Danny Cockrell's going to have a face-off in front of him.
Danny happy to have that at that target that is the Oregon O in his chest rather than the netting that was found earlier with the two Huskies goals. 2-1 here. Huskies over Oregon in the second period. 5:50 to go. Huskies now enjoying some control in the Oregon zone for the first time in several minutes. Shot open in the middle. Great underrated save there from Cockrell. He had the whole net to shoot at, did the Husky. Cockrell pushed it wide. McBride now, speed. McBride has the hands. He goes wide. Maybe a little bit too wide as the shot gets deflected up into the boards behind the net. There's Burgess' shot, gets deflected by McBride, almost directed on net, but hits some skates in front. McBride now, 3-on-2 for the Ducks. 3-on-2, McBride finds McCarty. McCarty on net, bounces off of Gilmore's pad, into Husky's skates, and then back onto the net. 2-on-1 now. Here is Stankovic, only one back, dives! Oh, what a spectacular poke check. In comes Luke! And another huge hit from Luke, and another arm up from the ref. What's going to be the call? Is it on Stankovic for the trip?
Stankovic might have swept with his stick there, and it's going to be either a hook or a trip on him, but that wasn't the call. The infraction, rather, wasn't on the great play that he made, just going down, diving to the ground, throwing his stick out there, kind of like Danny Cockrell making a poke check, and otherwise that might have been a goal, but they got him on the some kind of a stick infraction. Actually, it looks like it's Sully going to the box and a Husky.
I think they're calling for Michael Luke. Stankovic skating back.
Paging Michael Luke.
I think it was that big hit that they took objection to.
But there is a Husky sitting in the box.
There is a Husky in the box.
It might be one from each team.
What would the call be on Michael Luke? Charging?
It might have been a charging or something like a checking from behind. I didn't really get a great look at what he did. I'm getting shrugs from my producer here, so
we'll keep an eye out on that for you, see if there's any indication from the ref.
But indeed, it is Michael Luke heading to the box. We got 2 minutes up on the board for Alex Black from the Huskies and 2 minutes from Luke, so these will just offset as 4-on-4s. Little surprise. I don't know. They are going to play 5-on-5.
5-on-5.
So they'll be out of the box 2 minutes and a whistle. And some barking going on at the Olympic View Arena.
Here come the Ducks, win the face-off in their own zone. Casey now sees the pressure coming. Digging for the puck is Casey. Casey throws his body on the ice to try to keep it from getting deeper into his own defensive zone. Casey now, still with the puck, finds Halverson. Halverson doesn't have silky enough hands to get out of 3 Husky defenders pressing down on him. Here come the Huskies. Great shot to the top left corner, but Cockrell's good for it with his right blocker. Little tangle for the puck is Casey. Casey, though, sends the puck across the net to Dan Solitzer. Dan Solitzer drops to Alex Solitzer. Alex Solitzer shoots, and that had a chance and a half of going in. Spectacular glove save from Gilmore, who was sliding to his right, reaching out his hand to his left, and just was able to get that puck before it found the net.
Boy, so much to like about that last sequence. It was a great pass backwards from one Sully to another, kind of brotherly connection on that goal, and even better save from Jake Gilmore, just tempting Solitzer, leaves that little bit of space, and then shoots his glove out there at the last moment and takes it away. Still 2-1 Huskies.
Telepathic, some might say. Ducks try to keep the puck in the zone. Halverson does. Solitzer loses it, although he did corral it with his puck before it swung around the rest of the way. Here is someone in the corner for the Ducks. I think that's Stephen Casey, crushed over there in the corner. Solitzer, rather than finding the open Taron Donnelly, sends it back down to Casey, who is still tangled up in the corner. Here come the Huskies now with some speed and some lanes. Still the Huskies. Great defense by Halverson. Captain Halvey pushes it away. Halverson now with the puck. Finds the stretch pass. Great little turn and pass from Dan Solitzer to Alex Solitzer. Another telepathic play. Still not quite enough for the Ducks here. It remains 2-1.
Yeah, a lot of these chances for the Ducks have come on the backhand. Always a little bit harder to judge as a goalie, but also you don't get as much on it as the shooter. Oregon with a 15-10 edge in shots now in this second period, but a 2-0 goals lead in the period for UW to give them a 2-1 lead in the game after Oregon had the 1-0 lead after the end of the first.
Here come the Huskies. Weak shot on net. Cockrell pushes it wide. Huskies, though, now fully in the Oregon zone. Puck stopped right in front of Cockrell.
Boy, that was
dangerous. A little dangerous play there by Taron Donnelly not to just let that puck run through. He opted to stop it right in front of Cockrell. Worked out in the end as here are the Ducks. Ducks send it on net and score! What an effort from the Ducks. Came out of nowhere, really. I believe that was...
We'll see who leads the skating line.
I think
Looks
it's
like
Stankovic right now leading the skating line.
Big number 9.
Number 9, Stankovic, comes out. There's a lot of traffic there in front of the net. We believe it was Stankovic. We'll keep you updated. Jake Yale also out there in front of the net. Brock Burgess out for that team as well. Pat Taylor, Abate. I think this is the third line here for the Ducks tonight. Good to see some production happening from them.
So just as I say, the Huskies had the lead on the game. They no longer do. Great back and forth game we've had. A lot of action in both ends, a lot of shots on both ends. Great workout for the goaltenders, and a great goal from Chris Stankovic, the junior, to put that one in the back of the net and tie this one up at 2 on a great pass on that play too.
Huskies aren't going to sit back, though. A little bit of pressure now on Cockrell. Burgess absorbs a hit into the boards, plays the puck, finds the clearance. Here's Pat Taylor. Pat not quite able to get that spin move and escape from the defender. Lucky that the Ducks were there to get the puck. Abate now absorbs a hit. Abate still. Some lucky bounces. It ends up at his stick. Here comes Pat Taylor now. Pat, smaller body, but he's speedy. He goes wide. Dumps the pass back. Never looked where it was going to end up. Right into a Husky. Ducks, though, collapse on the play, trying to keep it in the zone. McCarty gets bumped off the puck by a big-bodied Washington skater. Here come the Ducks. Taron Donnelly finds Michael Luke, who's out of the box again after his 2-minute penalty.
Takes a shot from behind the blue line there.
Unconventional shot by Michael Luke, but it works as the Ducks now are kind of putting a lot of forechecking pressure on the Huskies, who do look tired. The Huskies try to chip it out, but they're not even ready to do that. And now finally the Ducks put the puck in and will be covered.
And I think Gilmore there just trying to cover the puck and give his team a chance to change. That was another one of those long shifts and long consistent pressure from the Ducks. And that shot from Michael Luke, he kind of just stood on the puck for 2-3 seconds waiting for a Husky to go after him, and they didn't.
Absolutely.
So he just said, well, I guess I'll throw it on goal and see if I can make something good happen.
Right, Isaac.
And he got a face-off out of it.
The Ducks are a young team, and, based on what we're seeing so far, you might see maybe they have some more legs here than the Huskies do, and we'll see how that carries over into the third period, but Ducks are kind of tiring out the Huskies when they get some sustained offensive pressure.
Which is surprising to see from a team that spent, a solid 7 hours in a car today, and then is playing on an ice surface that's bigger than they're used to.
Absolutely. Puck goes in front. Chance there for the Ducks. Now the Huskies clear it out across the red line. Halverson chips it up. finds Alex Solitzer through some Huskies. Still,
the ice is tired at this point.
absolutely great glove save, pushed high and wide by Cockrell.
Less than a minute remaining in the second period. Still a 2-2 score.
Here is Scarlatta with a little bit of space to skate, opts to throw it across the rink to Dan Solitzer. Dan with some space to shoot off of the shoulder of Gilmore, who does well to cover the puck. 39.4 seconds to go. We have a 2-2 game here in Seattle, Washington.
Is this not the greatest sport in the world? I mean, what a night we've had so far. These teams, the physicality is there, but the dirty play isn't there. It's been a good, solid, clean, physical game. A lot of, as a hockey coach might say, or as Don Cherry might say, just good, clean, old-fashioned hate. And it's been great, been very entertaining. Offensive game, too, 2-2 the score.
Absolutely. Scarlatta now with a little bit of space, never one to skate too much with the puck on his own stick, sends it in behind the net. McCarty tries to sidestep Gilmore, ends up bumping him a little bit. Gilmore didn't seem too happy about it.
Yeah, we'll have to see if McCarty pays for that later on. So far, Washington going to let him get away with it, but they might remember big number 3.
Absolutely.
Big might be an affectionate term there from McCarty. He's not the biggest player on the ice, not the smallest.
We have a stoppage in play here from the referees. I think the puck was a little bit too buried under a few too many players there by the Ducks and Huskies piled up on it. That's how those little fights for the puck, 50-50 fights for the puck, those usually turn into the scraps. So I think the refs pretty good to step in there before it may be escalated out of control. 8.6 seconds left here in the second period with a 2-2 score. Twos all around. Scarlatta with the face-off. Loses to the Huskies. Huskies ring it around. 4 seconds left. Will the Ducks get one more shot on goal? They do. It deflects it. It had a chance of going in as the time runs out.
I don't think Gilmore was ready for that, and it almost got by his right pad. Instead, it did get by his right pad, but it did not get in the goal. So it beat the goaltender, and it also beat the frame of the goal. 2-2 the score as we end the second period now. Washington scores 2 goals in a row to take a 2-1 lead, and then the goal from Chris Stankovic on the snipe from the face-off circle puts Oregon back in a tie game. 2-2 again the score. Connor and I will take a quick break, and then we'll be back for you to wrap up the second intermission and get ready for the third period. Thanks again for listening to Duck Hockey on Ustream.
Hello, Duck fans and Husky fans out there. It's the end of the second period right now. We are in the second intermission, about to move on to the third. Sorry, didn't know I was on camera there. Hi, right now it's 2-2 here at the end of the second. We have shots on goal towards barely for the U of O, 18-12. Favoring Oregon, and face-offs also have shifted. Actually, UW is winning face-offs 13-7. Isaac, they had those face-off numbers going the Ducks' way in the first period.
Yeah, they did, and those are your second period numbers up there, and it's really a great thing for UW's sake that they're winning those face-offs, because Oregon has had so many of those long sustained shifts where they have pressure in UW's zone, and then UW, thankfully for the Huskies' sake, has been able to win those face-offs when they finally do get a new line on and do get some less tired bodies out there.
Absolutely.
Are able to end those long shifts. The shots on goal, Oregon still with a bit of an edge, and they have the 2-2 tie rather on the scoreboard, but the 2-1 lead in that period if you're just looking at goals only in the second. And those goals came very rapid fire in quick succession from the Huskies as they tied it at 1, and then they took the lead very quickly after that. Other than those two shots, though, Danny Cockrell has looked great as usual. Jacob Gilmore for the Huskies has looked great. I would say as usual, but I can't really be as sure about that one. But I'm sure Husky fans will tell you he's solid in net too. He's had to do a lot of work tonight, and he's done really well. He's given up a few rebounds, but he's mostly jumped on those rebounds.
Absolutely. So we had a little bit less physical play than we did in the first. Should we expect that to kind of continue on, maybe a more relaxed third period? Do you think this is going to get back to the chippiness that we saw with that game misconduct in the first?
Well, I don't mean to take the easy way out here, Connor, but I think it could very easily go either way, and it could go far either way. There's a whole nother game tomorrow, and there's a whole nother 60 minutes tomorrow for anything that isn't resolved tonight to get taken care of. So I think the coaches would hope that it's a little bit more civilized, that players just kind of focus on winning this game and getting that 1-0 lead in the I-5 Cup Series. Now, that being said, third periods of hockey games are not usually calm affairs, as a general rule.
Absolutely.
And the I-5 Cup games are not usually calm affairs, as a general rule, either. So I think probably a little bit more likely that we see something a little more like the first period, bodies flying all over the place, boards crashing, and the crowd getting a little into it. I think it would play in the Ducks' favor, though, if they could just kind of pass around, get that perfect shot from the point like they've been trying to do, and get a deflection in on goal.
So loud crowd we have here tonight. Big crowd for the Huskies, maybe a few hundred people here or so. Similar crowd that we saw last year in Utah, but not quite as hostile. And so far, I think the Ducks have benefited from these Husky fans maybe not being quite as ferocious as they could be, because there are a lot of them out here, and they're here in number, and they're here to be loud, but not really any of that aggression directed towards the Oregon Duck fans. How do you think that that's affected them so far this game?
Well, I think one of the things that the Ducks have always talked about when they come home from this UW trip is the hostility of that crowd, and the stories they've told very often have revolved around the availability of alcohol in the arena. And it's not sold in the arena, but it used to be that you could just bring bottles in, bottles of hard liquor, 30 racks of beer, and I don't see any of that here. I've seen a guy or two sipping on a flask, but no one who's just openly drinking on a bottle of whiskey like the coaches and players talked about last year. And maybe a little less alcohol makes for a little bit less hostile crowd. Maybe they go out to the cars to do that in the intermissions. We'll see.
All right, we'll be back in a few minutes here. We have 4:18 to go, leading up to the third period of play. 2-2 tie here. Oregon Ducks versus Washington Huskies here in Seattle, Washington. Thank you for tuning in. Please feel free to interact with us on the Ustream social stream that Dylan is manning, or on Twitter, which Isaac and I are both looking at right now. So please feel free to hit us up on Twitter. That's Oregon_hockey. And please follow the UW Hockey account so we can represent Pac 8 Hockey well. That's at UW Hockey. So thank you, and we'll be back in 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Thank you. Bye.
Ice.
54 seconds to go before the puck drops for the third period of play. 2-2 is the score here in Seattle, Washington. The University of Oregon Ducks and the University of Washington Huskies have played out a very entertaining 2-2 draw so far in this game. Isaac, what do you expect here in the third period from the Oregon Ducks?
Well, we talked about it a little bit in the intermission, and I think you can probably expect that physical play that we saw in the first period to come back. I think if you're Coach Rich Salahor for the Ducks, you'd like to see them really set up in their designed offense, get those passing plays to design from the shots from the point. UW, you'll probably see the same thing. They'll go back to their game plan. That involves a lot more time in possession, a lot more skating, making use of all this open space, where the Ducks have just been kind of very content to set up and just, attack, and hope something gets deflected in on goal.
Absolutely. The buzzer sounds here. Players from both teams will come out on the ice shortly, and we'll get ready for the last 20 minutes of play.
Folks, if you're not following them, the UW hockey account has tweeted out a series of pretty great photos that have just been taken by one of the other helpers up here just with her iPhone, capturing some great action, some great crowd atmosphere. The crowd shots in particular, something we aren't really able to show you that much of with our camera, so give you an idea of what the crowds here are like and an idea of hopefully what we can have the Lane County Ice Center looking like when we come back for the second half of this I-5 Cup Series. Saturday of that I-5 Cup Series will be Pit Crew Night and Greek Night, so hopefully all of you involved in the Greek system can have all your brothers and sisters at the games.
The fraternity or sorority with the most members of their respective houses at the game will leave with money for their philanthropy, so please do come out to Greek Night next Friday and Saturday. The games will be at 7:30 at the Lane County Ice and Events Center at the Fairgrounds in Eugene, Oregon, just a short 10-minute drive away from the University of Oregon campus. We encourage you all to come out. It'll be a fun and chippy and maybe even bloody night of hockey there on the rink.
Bloody. There's a promise from Connor Gordon.
I said it could be bloody. I'll take that time to give a shout out to the San Francisco 49ers. Wish them luck this weekend. And I got muted there by Dylan, a Seahawks fan.
See what happens when you have a Seahawks fan controlling the soundboard and a 49er fan on the mic and a very sad Packer fan on color commentary, wondering where it all went wrong.
And here come the Ducks, and here come the Huskies. And you might see Aaron Rodgers over on the bench.
Oh, that was a cheap shot. That's a 10-minute misconduct for you, Mr. Gordon.
All right, we'll have about a minute of warm-up time here for the Ducks and for the Huskies, and we'll get to the ice shortly. Danny Cockrell stays in net. He's had a great night, not to be outmatched, but also on the other end, Gilmore. That's Jacob Gilmore for the Huskies. He's had a great night himself, Isaac.
Yeah, and I think maybe from a neutral's perspective, you might say maybe even a tad better than Cockrell. It's not a shot against Cockrell. Gilmore's just had to do a lot more work than the Oregon netminder has. Number 1 in white has been great, as has number 30 in the black and purple. And it's great when you have two goalies playing at the top of their games. It just makes for a great game of hockey. Forces the shooters to have to work hard to get their goals. And boy, have they worked hard. Some long, productive shifts for the Ducks, at the end of which you just see both teams very slowly skating to the bench when we have had whistles. As we're just about ready for the drop of the puck here. Looks like the same units that started the game for both teams will start the third period. 20 minutes left. Something's got to give.
20 minutes left. Something's got to give. Those top lines that Isaac was talking about, of course, that is the Stephen Casey, Alex Solitzer, and Dan Solitzer line with Halverson and Taron Donnelly, two of the strongest D-men for the Ducks. At D, here comes Casey now with the puck. A little bit of time. Here comes three Huskies, though. Trying to skate his way out of it, and does. Really quick, he can stop on a dime, can Casey. Casey finds Halverson. A little bit of trouble getting it out of the zone. Finds a lane up. Now here comes Casey. Oh, beautiful poke check from number 12 on UW. That's Andrew Johnson. That's perhaps saved a goal. Could have been 3-2 there.
Yeah, it could have been, and that would have been one of the first chances on those breakaways that Oregon had on their forehand rather than on their backhand. Instead, though, we're just left coulda, shoulda, woulda as Andrew Johnson got his stick on the puck and knocked it away.
Pass up for Dan Solitzer. He chases. the refs will call the no-touch icing on Dan Solitzer. He might have had a chance to get to that puck first, but the way it was kind of rounding the boards, it seemed like Washington was going to get there.
Yeah, it might have. And the way hybrid icing is designed is it's very confusing for the players, the fans, and the officials because it gets oftentimes inaccurately described as being whoever wins the race to the face-off dots. But since it's designed to avoid those collisions at the boards, if it's close at the face-off dots, the referee can just say, or the linesman can just say, nope, it's icing, as was the case there, and the face-off goes all the way back into the Duck zone.
Dan Solitzer kicked from the face-off. Alex replaces him in the circle. Dan now with the puck, as it was a slap shot from the point, it was deflected. Dan puts a shot on net that Gilmore had a little trouble with, pushed it wide with his blocker. Had a chance of finding that top left corner from really acres away.
Yeah, it did. From the
Donnelly on net,
neutral zone.
Deflected wide. Sorry to interrupt you there, Isaac. McCarty lays his body in. Leonard there to chip it back into the Washington zone. McCarty and McBride on the chase. Leonard again. McBride hops over the puck. Good awareness there from Connor McBride. Here come the Huskies. They ring it around. Leonard there. Keeps it alive in the zone. Huskies having a little trouble clearing the puck. Here comes Brock Burgess. Dangerous pass across. Husky was right there in the lane. Almost had a chance. J.D. White for the Huskies.
Boy, that's happened a few times tonight. The Ducks kind of making lackadaisical passes in their own zone or in the neutral zone has turned into a few great chances and a goal, actually, for UW.
Scarlata now jumps on a loose puck. Had a chance to work it in front of the net, and for some reason, not able to really get his stick on it. Puck stayed in one spot. However, it goes for icing. No changes for UW. The Ducks will get a small line change and look to get some shots here on the UW goal.
And UW looks like they got a player sitting on the bench. They're not supposed to be able to change after a line change, and someone just hopped over the boards right in front of the linesman. I don't know if he came on maybe right before the puck was iced and he was told to just go back off. I got to assume that's what happened because that's pretty bold otherwise.
Absolutely. Here come the Huskies now. Oh, there is no call from the ref, but number 11, that is J.D. White, was kind of thrown down on the ice when there was a 3-on-2. 3-on-2 dissolved.
Too, and he just goes back to the ice without, or go back to the bench without his stick.
3-on-2 dissolved, and Ducks even had a chance to break away after it. Now an arm is up from the ref, touched by the Ducks, and I think it will be... Who else would it be? It'll be Michael Luke, 2 minutes in the box.
You knew that, though, didn't you, folks? It's going to be somebody.
Luke's getting comfortable in there. Got maybe a little cup of hot chocolate by now.
Sure, some nice banter with the guy who's been opening and closing the door in what we will really begin referring to as Mr. Luke's office.
He's getting yelled at from the fans behind the bench, but Michael Luke, he's tough cookie. I think he'll live.
I think he can take it.
I think he can take it. Halverson has some words with the ref. Obviously, Luke's been in there quite a bit. They're probably saying, hey, what's up, man? And here comes Ackman from the bench, who will join him in the box. Both of those two have been pretty comfortable in there today.
So Ackman's penalty I don't see on the board yet, and it looks like the Ducks have 5-on-4 out there, so maybe a misconduct for somebody, or now Ackman's penalty goes up. But it's the Ducks have 4 skaters out there. This scoreboard operator really likes to make me look like an idiot. It's not that hard tonight.
Not too long ago, Isaac, we were down in that score box, so I can give him some support. It's a tough job down there. Here comes UW now on the power play. Puck at the point. Fans on the pass, able to get it back.
And you know what? It is a 5-on-3 for the Ducks, or for the Huskies.
It's a 5-on-3 for the Huskies. Great stick awareness by Solitzer. Not quite able to push the puck out of the zone, but definitely able to break up the attack there. Here come the Huskies, number 9. That's Black. Black finds the point. Here's Gasser. Gasser looks for a pass. Ducks doing well with only 3 men to kind of block off the lanes. Unfortunately, not all of them, but the puck lands in Danny Cockrell's glove.
Hey,
good save.
You really only need one penalty killer when it's Danny Cockrell. The other 3 are just there to look pretty and block up those passing lanes. But when a shot does come through, Cockrell's there to eat it up.
Cockrell's usually good for it. Here comes McCarty now to join the PK effort. He's a pretty tenacious skater. He's one to work hard and then get off and let someone else work hard. Not working hard enough to block that shot and get in front of it. He comes back, puck no good. Danny Cockrell with a sprawling save on his stomach keeps the puck out of the net.
Might I add, da-da-da.
That's not goaltending 101, folks. That's goaltending 467.
That is an upper division class.
That's upper division goaltending. That's grad student goaltending. Fantastic. That's what we love to see. Saving the Ducks there, but here comes another shot from Gasser. Passes it across. Not quite on point, but here are the Huskies now. Gasser again from the point. Gasser slap pass down low. Across. Shoots. Great one-touch play by Huskies. Gasser throws it over. Now at the point is a Husky, number 12. That's Andrew Johnson. And that's a goal by the Huskies. Pumping up the crowd, number 18, Corey James, threw it on net. He had a man back posted in there. Cockrell was good enough to push the first effort from Andrew wide, but the Husky on the back post tapped it in the open net. Nothing that Danny Cockrell could do. 5-on-3, really tough for the Ducks to contend with. Not able to hold out quite enough there.
Really tough, and what you can do on a 5-on-3, you can take away passing lanes all you want. You can get in front of a shooter all you want, but you know, all you can do, you know, you can't get in front of a rebound, and with 16-16 left in the third period, still plenty of time, but a big 3-2 lead taken by the Huskies on the 5-on-3. Over a minute killed off successfully by Oregon with only 3 men on the ice, and they're still shorthanded. Let's not forget about that.
Terrible start for the Ducks this period, not what they wanted. On the other hand, fantastic start for the Huskies. They look to build some momentum after that 3-2 goal. Still one man in the box for the Ducks, so Washington do have a pretty solid chance to get another one, and they almost do. Pushed wide. Solitzer on the puck. Alex Solitzer. Oh,
goes flying.
Massive stick check from number 24 on the Ducks, Dan Solitzer. Stick goes flying across the rink. I guess that's a lesson to hold on to your stick a little stronger, or maybe the refs just didn't see that. Danny Cockrell does great to come off out of his crease, cut off the angle, block the shot, and glove it dead.
And with the Huskies scoring about 4 minutes into this third period, it's about the same time, I think, that they scored into the second period, and they almost got, once again, 2 quick back-to-back goals. Would have been a lot more dangerous if those back-to-back goals gave them a 2-goal lead rather than the 1-goal lead. And even better is to not get the 2 quick back-to-back goals. But again, danger not over, still 20 seconds left on the penalty, and the Ducks with the face-off in their own zone.
Absolutely, that face-off in their own zone is won by the Huskies, who throw it behind the net. On the chase is number 11, that's J.D. White. White still fighting for the puck, loses it. Stephen Casey now, not one to give away the puck easily, but this time is forced off the puck. Great diving effort from Dan Solitzer. It redirects the puck out from danger. In comes Michael Luke on the break, perhaps bolted up the ice from the penalty box a little bit too early as the Huskies are still peppering the net.
And Luke will skate to the bench for a change.
Skates to the bench for a change. On comes McBride. McBride almost gets it. Had acres of space to skate with Solitzer up on the other end of the ice, but does not quite get there. Solitzer lays the body before the Huskies. Gasser is able to clear it in the zone. Now the puck goes back. Here comes Dan Solitzer. Rings it around for McBride. McBride not quite ready, not quite in position. Didn't know that was coming to him. A little bit of sloppy puck handling from both teams here as the puck is bouncing around in the neutral zone. And into the crowd it goes. Someone's going home with a little memento from this game.
Hope they were paying attention. That one came in pretty hot.
Came in hot. Looks like he might be going to walk this one off. That could have hurt a little bit.
I can tell you, folks, I've taken a puck to the wrist before, one time working in the scorer's box, and the puck managed to deflect in there, hit my laptop, hit my wrist, and the players were giving me a little bit of a hard time because they could see me shaking it off for about the last 15 minutes of the period.
Here are the Ducks. McBride throws it into the zone, rings around McCarty, plays the body on big number 19, Keenan Smith. He's a freshman at 6'3" from Washington. Luke down at the blue line, chips the puck in. Here's Gasser behind the net. Gasser has played really well tonight, Isaac.
Yeah, he has. He's looked really good for the Huskies. A couple of guys have looked good for them. Number 20, Brian Vandermoon, you called his name a lot. He's looked great for them. I'm not quite sure. I believe the 6'0" listing on the roster for him. He looks a little bit, little south of 6 feet. Not one to call out people on their height, but I don't know about 6 feet tall.
Gasser, the 6'3" freshman D-man from Washington, I think he's kind of stepping into maybe what Duck fans could identify as that Halverson role at the top of the point.
That big, strong shooter at the top of the point, big presence there. Fans of the NHL, maybe you don't follow either one of these teams closely. A little bit like Zdeno Chara, just stand there and patrol at the top.
Absolutely. McBride pokes the puck in front of the net. It's a loose puck, and it's put away by Pat Scarlotta. Not known for his scoring, but today is his day. 3-3.
Not
number
known
10.
for his scoring at all, and boy was he pumped after putting that one in. Gave a couple of fist pumps and big hug for his teammate.
He grinds, and the puck is put away. Patrick Scarlotta will be smiling about that one for the rest of this game. The game is not over. 13:59 to go. He'll be looking to get another one. The momentum's really changed just now, Isaac.
Yeah, it really does, and still a lot of time left in this game. 13:59 left. A lot of time for either teams to score, but we've just got a good, strong physical hockey game here, and great effort by Scarlotta to push in that loose puck, and you could kind of see that one coming before the puck was even loose.
Great skating by the speedy Minkoff, captain for the Washington Huskies. Still decides to take it by himself. He had men crashing the net, and here comes Stephen Casey, the star forward for the Ducks, tries to deke to the center, but Washington D-men were up for the task. Casey not quite enough to get there. Almost trickles through on Gilmore. Here are the Ducks. Need to catch my breath, folks. Alex Salter turns and shoots, deflected high, wide by Gilmore with his blocker. Here come the Huskies. Still Huskies through the center. Head down, skating hard. Number 18 for the Huskies, that's Corey James. Corey James has had a fantastic night tonight. Here comes Taron Donnelly. Taron Donnelly finds Jake Yale.
We've had great end-to-end action here these last 2-3 minutes. Both teams, not able to get a lot of sustained attack, but both teams with great chances.
Here comes the Ducks. Shot again. Two beautiful saves by Gilmore back to back. Could have been 4-3. Could have been the deciding factor in this game. Gilmore was up for the task. Ducks still with possession.
And a big check thrown, I believe it was by number 14, Kevin Brambat.
Big pile up in front. The puck's under there. The ref's going to blow this one dead. Those bodies aren't moving. A little bit of extracurriculars going on from the Ducks and the Huskies. Pat Taylor there throwing a few extra shoves after the play ends. I don't think any penalties are going to be called here. I think that puck was just smothered.
They certainly shouldn't be. I think that was just about 18 bodies, which is more than they're supposed to be on the ice. But a lot of people just lying on top, stacked on top of that puck, and the referee lost sight of it and rightly blew it dead. Faceoff looks like it's going to come all the way out to the neutral zone faceoff dot.
Look who's back on the ice, Isaac. That's number 10, Pat Scarlotta.
Hey, that is getting another shift pretty quickly, and we'll see if he can add another goal to his tally. Not a tremendously high tally on the season, and actually the faceoff does look to be going into the. Well, now they're bringing it back.
You don't want to cool off a hot stick, and maybe Coach Rich is thinking that, hey, Pat Scarlotta has a hot stick right now.
Why not? And we talked about it earlier. He's playing up on that second line with the absence of Nick Shabara, and he has more than responded to the challenge. Scores that very important equalizing goal in the third period.
McCarty loses the faceoff to the Washington Huskies. The puck is redirected into the zone by J.D. White. No icing on the play. Brock Burgess sidesteps a hit. McBride finds McCarty, who gets cheeky with his little... He can shoot from anywhere at any time.
The wheels on McBride on that play turned what was a broken play and almost a giveaway for the Ducks. 7-7 the shots in the third period, and almost a
get that to you. It should be back right now. Please let us know on Twitter, though, if you're having any problems. Right now we have a we have a face-off in the offensive zone for the Ducks, the defensive zone for the Huskies after a great opportunity by McBride, who's so quick with his release. It's a foot race now between the big number 19 on the Huskies. That's Keenan Smith, a 6'3 freshman. A lot of 6'3 freshmen on this team. Here come the Ducks. McBride, as the puck was at his feet, he didn't quite see it. McCarty now tries to cut off that lane from point to point. Doesn't get there in time. Here come the Huskies. Remedios, the San Franciscan on the Huskies. He'll be rooting for the Niners. He chased the puck down into the Oregon zone. We will have a face-off right there in Danny's circle.
And you might hear a little bit of, I'm not sure how much of the chirping from the crowd is getting through on our mics, but the hostility is picking up a little bit in this third period as the general excitement and the pressure in this game starts to build.
Absolutely. We have an interesting assortment of flags up above the scoreboard. We got a Mexican, U.S., Canadian, and Russian flag.
Yeah, I mean the Czech flag.
Czech flag.
I've been trying to figure that out. The used to seeing the American and the Canadian flag anywhere hockey related. The Czech flag, okay, that still makes a lot of sense. I'm not going to lie, the Mexican flag is, I'm not saying it doesn't belong, definitely not saying it doesn't belong, but I don't think I've ever seen one at an ice rink before.
Hopefully it's a reoccurring trend. Get some more people involved in the game.
Yeah, great to see the spread of hockey.
Here comes Dan Solitzer, absorbs a hit nicely and able to still corral the puck while being hit against the boards. Great little chip by Alex Solitzer, finds Halverson at the point, finds Alex again. Alex now towards the middle, touches the puck a little bit too far off his stick. Great keep. Thought it was a great keep by Taron Donnelly. The ref seemed to think
it was. Because his skates were well behind the line, but the stick and the puck remained even with and in front of the blue line. But the linesman who...
And now they're throwing Captain Halverson into the box, I think for dissent on the refs.
Yeah, I think he got an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty there.
Sorry, dissent, that's soccer terms. My other sport, I apologize. Unsportsmanlike conduct, that's
probably the magic words said there, because I think he saw the same thing you and I saw, and the linesman had a better look at it than I did, but it looked pretty clear to me that that the puck never actually went back in front of behind the blue line, and should never have been offside, but that wasn't what was called by the linesman, and the referee took exception to Tyler Halverson taking exception, and he sits down in the box.
Here come the Huskies with a shot, blocked in traffic on the way. Cockrell, really aware of his surroundings, tracked the puck the whole way, covers. That was an opportunity for the Huskies.
And you know what? It was not. It was worse than a 2-minute an unsportsmanlike conduct. It was a 10-minute misconduct. We got 5 Ducks on the ice. So Halverson sitting for almost the rest of the game. I think that penalty came with about 11:15 left. So basically they are without their captain and without a very apt point shooter for the majority of the rest of this game, for the referee basically saying, I don't want to deal with you anymore, go sit down for 10 minutes.
The Ducks just lost their most potent offensive threat from the blue line. We'll see how they respond. We'll see who slots back there to take their place. The Solitzer brothers are known for their ability to play D and O, so perhaps one of them will slot back to be a partner. Great hands, while I'm saying that, from Alex Solitzer on the deke, and there is Stephen Casey, who tries to emulate Alex Solitzer's beautiful moves, not quite able to do so. Solitzer's tire goes for a change. Here come the Huskies. Good stick handling, laid out in front of the net is Michael Luke, who goes into the net, off the posts come off of the ice, and we will have a whistle.
Michael Luke not used to being on that end of that hit.
Not at all. But I bet you he won't forget about that one.
No, I bet you he's making a little mental note right now. He's writing down numbers, and at the appropriate time, he will remind the guy who hit him of his rightful place.
Absolutely. Here comes Abate, does not win the faceoff for the Ducks. The puck rings around, takes an awkward bounce off the boards. Luke still on the ice here for the Ducks. Pat Taylor now. Still battling for the puck as it gets sprung wide. Pat Taylor now chases the puck. Not quite able to get there. Here is Remedios, who chips it in towards Kyle Umlauf for the Huskies. But here comes Jesse Leonard for the Ducks. Jesse Leonard finds Yale. Yale takes a shot, gets spun around by a glancing hit. He looks all right.
That shot never got through to Jacob Gilmore, but it was a great pass from Jesse Leonard to set it up.
Taron Donnelly turns on the Jets. Not quite able to keep it the entire way, but Yale finds it, clears it into the Washington zone, dumping the puck, giving his team a chance to change. Here's McCarty with some fresh legs. McBride with some fresh legs. Laid out. A Washington defender did McCarty. Here come the Huskies. Taron Donnelly now takes over the puck. It's not the cleanest hockey we have going on right here, Isaac.
No, it's not the cleanest hockey, and that's not in dirty play. It's just in kind of no one's able to really get an attack going. People kind of turning the puck over in the neutral zone a lot.
Great shot on net by a Husky, but I think Cockrell saw it the whole way. I think even a fist was thrown in the little extracurricular huddle going on
and
there.
And the ref saw it too and immediately pointed at someone. I think we have a door opening, and Trevor McCarty is going to have to take a visit to Michael Luke's office, and the crowd letting him hear it.
He'll keep it warm. I'm sure Michael Luke might be joining him there in the future, but that was a pretty uncalled for play by McCarty. He didn't really need to throw that extra hit. I think the message was clear when the whistle was blown. So unfortunately, the Ducks, with 8:42 left to go, are down 4-3. 4-3 men, or five. They're 5 on 4 right now. Sorry, blank there. 5 on 4 skating. It's 3-3 tied this game. Shot on net. It hits a bunch of legs and sticks in front of the net and gets pushed wide. Husky still on the puck here. Another awkward bounce off the board. This time, Washington almost capitalizes off of it. Ducks can't be happy with that. Really unpredictable bounce, maybe off the part of the boards where the Zamboni comes to and from off the ice.
Yeah, and for as much as I've talked about what a good ice surface they have here up in Mountain Lake Terrace, the area behind the goal where Danny Cockrell is right now, I've noticed a few times in each period when the ice gets a little choppier, it takes some weird bounces back there, both on the Zam door and just the ice itself. I don't know if there's a chip there related to the Zamboni going on and off there. It's a bit of an awkward place for that door. Most of the times you see it right in the middle of the ice, and it's a little off to the center. Just one possibility.
Huskies now enter the zone. Here comes Gasser. We were talking about him before. He stands back up, has time to shoot. What great save there by Gasser. He lost his footing. He got back up and still able to redirect the shot on net. Big shot. Goes wide. Never had a chance on net, but there was some oomph behind that shot.
Had there been a man on the doorstep on that shot by Gasser, that might have been put in on the rebound.
Gasser again looking to redeem himself on net. Pushed wide. Here comes Black for Washington. Now from the point, another big shot. Oh, opportunity on the open net with a sprawling Cockrell there to make the save, but the effort trickled wide. Stankovic tries to stall the puck behind the net, unable to do so. Ducks look tired out there, really tired, and it gets the clearance from Alex Solitzer, bounces off of a Husky, back towards the empty net, and almost had a chance of getting in there. Finally, the puck has cleared the length of the ice. The Ducks get a much-needed change, as do the Huskies. Here come the Huskies with another attack. 24 seconds left to go in this power play. 7 minutes to go left in this game. 3-3. Stephen Casey touches the puck. If Stephen Casey had touched that puck even one more time, there could have been a breakaway by the Ducks. Here comes Brock Burgess to play some defense. Stephen Casey now chips the puck up. No boards there. Almost hit his own teammates, his own coaches. Perhaps a much-needed stoppage in play here for both teams to regroup and try to get some momentum in this game.
Yeah, very, a great penalty kill by the Ducks. It's been a little bit hectic, but they've been able to regroup, clear the puck, and boy, though, did Corey James have a dynamite chance for Washington. He had an open net as Cockrell was sprawling to the other side, sliding along the ice, and he hit behind the puck a little bit. He just mishit it, wasn't able to get it in, and the Ducks almost have killed off the penalty. Clock hasn't started yet. The penalty should be well cleared off by now, and the clock did not run for about 5 seconds.
The penalty clock was running, however, but the game clock was not.
And, the penalty clock initially even wasn't running for the first couple seconds of that sequence, too. And McCarty is yelling at the guy at the scoreboard operator.
McCarty's not happy. He should be out of the box right now. There should be this power play should be over for the Huskies. Here comes,
And it's all
here
for
comes
naught as they
McCarty.
clear it. It ends up
now,
working well.
1-on-2 for McCarty. Takes the shot. Speculative shot, but McBride there to try to clean up after that effort. Scarlata in. Gloves it down for himself. Finds McCarty. McCarty throws an awkward bouncer on net. Gilmore does really well just to grab that and throw it out to his own teammate.
Boy, would that have been an interesting footnote if he had scored coming out of the box there, since he shouldn't have been coming out of the box off of that face-off. He should have been coming out of the box before.
Would have been a plot twist.
Instead, it's just another thing to look back on, and
McCarty still chirping at the ref out there. I think McBride came over to cool him off a little bit. We saw Halverson's been there for 10 minutes for maybe saying a little bit too much to the ref. We don't need another skater in there to the Ducks. Here comes Abate now playing center. Will take this face off. He has Michael Luke behind him, but here comes the Ducks. This is Pat Taylor now. Taylor finds Leonard. Leonard on net. Doesn't find its way. Huskies chip the puck up. Michael Luke bumps a Husky off the puck. No call. I think a correct no call. It was a shoulder-to-shoulder effort, but Michael Luke rather got the better end of it. No icing call from the ref as it bounced over a few sticks. This will be an icing call on the other end, and the Ducks will take an offensive zone face-off.
5:42 left in this game. Physicality, as we predicted, has come back a little bit here, and as has frustration from both teams, and in certain cases with the officials. Trevor McCarty in particular kind of getting into it a little bit with the guy in the scorer's booth, which, again, I've been in that job, and sometimes the scoreboard kind of tweaks out on you, although in that case I think it was just being asleep at the switch a little bit. But McCarty had to be kind of pulled back by the guy opening the door for him.
Here comes the Huskies now. Big number 83, Ryan Minkoff, captain. Throws one on net, goes wide. Stephen Casey. Stephen Casey now. Twirling and spinning with the puck, finds his teammate, that's Stankovic. Stankovic drags it backhand, chips it clear, finds number 17, Remedios for the Huskies. Huskies now enjoying most of possession with the puck. Here's a great team move, finished off almost by a Husky forward.
Real nice drop pass there to set that up.
Here comes Black. Black shoots. Cockrell rather was up for it. Here comes Stankovic behind the net. Stankovic, arm wrapped around a Husky, wrapped around the neck now. Stick not quite where it's supposed to be. No calls from the ref. Puck's dead in the corner.
And the ref sitting there staring at the play. I think it was just clear that it was inadvertent, maybe, but it looked like either you're going to call a hook on the Ducks or holding the stick on the Huskies. Instead, the ref chooses not to call anything, as the stick there was just kind of caught in the Huskies' arms.
Here come the Huskies behind the net, turned over. Stephen Casey now with a little bit of space to skate. He has Dan Solitzer with him. Casey with a beautiful deke, not quite able to finish it off, well covered by Gilmore. Great deke from Casey, but he was bodied up immediately after, not quite able to get that last touch on with a clear shot on net. Dan Solitzer was there to clean up the rebound. No rebound came. Gilmore has done a great job this period of not giving up rebounds.
He has, and that was one thing that we did criticize a little bit about his game before. That one, there was a trailer there, and had there been a rebound, it could have been 4-3 Ducks. Also want to point out a great job there defensively by Washington to make that hit without getting called for a trip. Or without tripping the man. It's not just that they weren't called, they didn't do it.
Excuse me, Isaac. Here comes the Huskies. Number 19, the big-bodied Keenan Smith, had a chance there to break away. Not quite quick enough for Burgess and McCarty, who were there to cover. McBride also involved in the scrum. McBride tries to clear the puck, gets pushed down in the process. Little spinning pass from the Huskies and the spinning shot immediately after. Cockrell, well covered. Goaltending on one end, fantastic. Goaltending on the other end, fantastic.
Yeah, and what else is new in this game? It's been 3-3, but there are a lot of shots that have happened in this game. This could easily be a 4-4, 5-5, even a 6-6 game with the amount of shots on goal we've had. Jacob Gilmore and Danny Cockrell, they both had a lot to say about this game. 15-8 UW, the shot count in this period, but it's been the Duck advantage on shots on goal in the previous two periods.
Huskies still enjoying most of the offensive zone control here in this period, I must say. 3-3 game. This can end in a draw, in a tie. maybe we don't want it to, but it can. This is a 4-game series. We'll let you enjoy these fan chants for a minute.
As Connor McBride going to skate to the penalty box now, possibly for delay of game.
He just gave the ref a little motion of his hit, and then he gave a little cross check to the glass once he was in the box, having some words with Halverson and the Husky fans behind the box. You're chirping at the 2 Oregon Duck players in there. Continue to do so. Oregon players not buying into it. And yet again in this game, the Ducks go down at an inopportune time. I think story is yet to be told, but the storyline at the end of this game could be that penalties really cost the Ducks. Huskies now, with a lot of space on this big Olympic-sized ice. Here are the Huskies. Looked great pass through the slot, broken up. Here's Gasser playing a little bit lower than he normally does at the point. Now he's back up at the point. Ducks would do well to take away his space to shoot. Here is Minkoff, captain. Minkoff now takes that primary point. Minkoff, one-timer, hits off of I think someone's shoulder and deflects high and wide. That did have a chance, and it was a tough shot. Now we have a break. It's a foot race. Here comes Gilmore. Great job by Gilmore. Really heads-up play. Able to clear the puck. If he wasn't there, it would have been a Solitzer brother. Dan Solitzer would have chased that down. Might have had a chance to score. Heads-up play by Gilmore. Now the Huskies.
Taylor, too, almost got a stick on that even after Gilmore cleared it out, and that would have been real interesting because Gilmore was way out of position.
Another stick goes flying. This time it will be a penalty. That's the second time Dan Solitzer has just absolutely stick-lifted a Husky stick, and it's gone flying twice now, finally called the second time.
You know, I've seen aggressive stick checking, and I've never seen sticks fly the way that I've seen Husky sticks fly tonight, and it's a frustrating thing, but it's a call that the ref has to make, especially when it's happened multiple times.
It's a frustration thing from Solitzer. It happens to his game. He gets frustrated. He lets it get to him. Right now, the worst thing for the Oregon Ducks is to be 5-on-3 against this Husky team that has already scored a 5-on-3 in this game. 3 men in the box. 3 is the number right now. 3 is on the board. Hopefully it does not turn into a 4 for the Huskies, as the Ducks do not want to lose this first game of the I-5 Cup.
And still 50 seconds left in that first penalty, so it's going to be a fairly sustained 5-on-3, although we will say the last time it was 5-on-3, the Ducks killed it off for over a minute. I think it was about a minute 13 seconds, and it looks like Oregon's going to take a timeout here, which actually brings up a point I was just about to make. The only kind of little bitty good thing about that penalty from Solitzer is just that it's the break in the action. And with 2:21 left in this game and already over a minute of penalty killing from the Huskies, it just gives Oregon a chance to kind of regroup a little bit. Denny Cockrell can come to the bench and get some water. And Oregon can kind of regroup, but it also gives UW time to draw up plays and figure out what they want to do. As we talked about, UW's power play very different than the Ducks' power play that's relied on getting an umbrella formation and shots up from the point. And Oregon's and UW's power play rather has just been time on the puck, skating around, looking for the open shot individually, and a lot of movement off the puck rather than just setting up and a firing squad kind of deal like the Ducks have been doing. And both teams have had success. Very different game plans, but they've been successful for both teams.
I don't know if you heard that "Go Huskies" chants, but it was loud in here for a minute, and that's the kind of fan participation that we're really hoping to get at the Lane County Ice Center. So we must remind you on that note that please do come down to the Lane County Ice Center next weekend. Friday and Saturday we have 2 7:30 games in Eugene, Oregon. That's a quick 10-minute drive away from campus. You can also take some trains and planes and automobiles there as this puck is dropped. Now here come the Huskies in a 5-on-3.
About a 10-minute walk from the downtown bars for fans of beer and hockey,
which sometimes go hand in hand. Here are the Huskies. Gasser takes a shot. First shot on the 5-on-3. First goal. McBride leaves McBride leaves the box. Huskies celebrate. Crowd's up, going wild. 4-3. Still on the power play with 2 minutes to go are the Huskies. Looking hopeless maybe for the Oregon Ducks right now, Isaac?
I wouldn't say hopeless, but it's not looking good. I mean, it's not just that they're down 4-3 with 2:03 left. They're down 4-3 with 2:03 left and a minute 42 left on the penalty to Solitzer, with their captain still serving the last couple of seconds of about 30-ish seconds left on the 10-minute misconduct to Halverson.
We still have Dan Solitzer and Tyler Halverson in the box. I believe Tyler Halverson will probably spend most of the rest of the period in there. Here comes Alex Solitzer on the chase. The Ducks are really going to need to bring on their forechecking here if they want to have a chance of putting any impression on this scoreline. Here comes Gasser now with some space. Solitzer puts a little bit pressure on. That puck gets deflected high and wide by Alex Black. Stoppage in play. It will go outside of the zone. Neutral zone face-off. Huskies and Oregon Ducks here. 1 minute 40 left to go. 4-3 lead for the Huskies. 1:19 left to go in the Dan Solitzer, I don't even know what to call that, unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for an aggressive stick lift. Gasser now leaves the puck for Corey James. Corey James spins. He's pretty content with kind of letting the clock run down, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what UW's going to try and do here, just kind of...
Dangerous play back to their goalie from Gasser. A lot of pressure now from Solitzer and Casey. Good heads-up play by the Ducks to keep that sustained pressure alive, keep their hopes alive in this game. Great shot from... It's puck still loose, bounced off of Cockrell's pad and out. That could have bounced off his pad and gone in pretty easily. Great play by Cockrell to keep his pad facing away from his own net. Casey tries to just power through some Husky defenders.
We'll have to keep an eye on Danny Cockrell here, see if he heads for the bench with less than a minute remaining
55
in this game
seconds
now.
left to go, 33 seconds left in the penalty. Cockrell, if he leaves the box, will only bring 5-on-5 even strength to the Ducks. But even strength is better than a man down, as McCarty.
He might leave as soon as that penalty to Solitzer ends, which it happens in 20 seconds.
15 seconds left in that penalty, 35 seconds left to go in the game. Here comes Brock Burgess and Trevor McCarty. McCarty finds Michael Luke.
Here comes Cockrell.
Cockrell leaving. Empty net for the Oregon Ducks. Michael Luke, big body, just trying to keep that puck alive, grinding. Now Huskies have possession of the puck back. Great play by McBride to not give the Husky any time to play with the puck. In comes McCarty. Some knee-to-knee contact there. Puck gets cleared. 5 seconds left to go. Burgess, all he has left to do is throw the puck up. 2 seconds left. Slap shot from center ice. Had a chance. Pushed wide by Gilmore. Washington fans go crazy. Final score here at the Olympic View Arena in Seattle, Washington. 4-3, Huskies beating the University of Oregon Ducks in Game 1 of 4 of the I-5 Cup. Thank you all for tuning in with us. Thank you for your kind words on the social stream. Thank you for your kind words on Twitter. We apologize that this broadcast hasn't quite been the smoothest as we ran into some internet and some technical issues, but we hope you enjoyed us bringing you some live coverage from Washington, from Seattle, Washington, of the first game of this series. And Isaac, you've mentioned this is your favorite part of the game in the past.
Yeah, the handshake line, I mean, it's the best part of hockey, and it really shows you the respect that these teams have for each other, even if it's even in a game where they'll openly admit the hatred they have for their opponents in this game, but they got the respect there. Go through the handshake line, and we'll do this all again tomorrow. And I can tell you that Michael Luke is going to have some things on his mind. The Ducks are going to have some things on their mind. The Huskies too, and we have a Sully brother and Stankovic and several Ducks now in front of the referee. And it's not just a handshake with the referee. They've got some things they're discussing with him. The one thing I will say for Solitzer being penalized on the stick lift is that, when a player loses their stick like that, it's supposed to be called. It's kind of open and shut. But if a stick's going to go flying that much, it might have a little bit to do with the guy kind of releasing his grip on the stick a little bit.
Absolutely.
I'm not trying to say there's cheating there, but maybe a little bit of gamesmanship from the Huskies on that. But hey, I mean, if Solitzer did it once, he got away with it. he's not going to get away with it a second time, and it turned out to be the difference in this game. Power plays, like we knew they would be, had a big impact on this game. Most of the goals were scored not at even strength. The Ducks' first goal was scored at even strength. The game winner on a power play. The game winner scored on a power play. We'll have to see tomorrow night, what happens in the second game.
Absolutely. Isaac, would you want to be in this locker room right now?
I think that Rich is probably going to have a few choice words for just about everybody in that locker room. It's a frustrating thing. Hockey's a very emotional sport, and when you have a game like this, there's a lot of emotions involved, and unfortunately those penalties had a very big impact on the game tonight for the Ducks, but they also did for the Huskies. Let's not forget that Washington's Jason Bartlett, a senior defender, only played about 5 minutes tonight before he was booted from the game. So, we'll have to see what him playing, hopefully for his sake, closer to 60 minutes has on the game tomorrow, and if the Ducks can be a little more disciplined, even if that's understanding that the Huskies are going to let go of their sticks on those stick lifts.
All right, we are going to sign off for tonight, folks. We don't have quite the rink access we do at the Lane County Ice Center, so we are going to forego some post-game interviews, but thank you all for tuning in on our stream. Looks like we had a few hundred viewers collectively tonight, so thank you for yet again making this a successful broadcast and bearing with some of our difficulties. Alongside me is Dylan Lee as the executive producer working all the computer systems, and we also have Isaac working color commentary. So thank you so much. We had over 500 viewers tonight. Actually, I'm getting the new number, so thank you so much for tuning in and making this a success. The more viewers we have on the stream, the more successful that we will be as far as advertising and sponsorship goes. So thank you for helping our stream, and thank you to Isaac, thank you to Dylan. We had Ty Anderton on the camera tonight, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow at Oregon versus the Washington Huskies here in Seattle, Washington. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.